These are the 10 most emotional moments in AFL history. And at number 10, Nathan Buckley's emotional departure from Collingwood came just weeks after talks with football boss Graham Wright. Though he wanted to stay, the club needed a long-term coach for their rebuild. While players respected him, some felt worn out by his style, signalling the end of his time coaching.
In the black and white.
Yeah, it's better than the alternative. The boys were amazing. It's a really solid four-quarter performance against a team that's been performing really well. So it's in the moment, it's awesome.
Buckley's decision was also due to personal reasons, including a recent separation and the challenges of balancing a family with coaching. Still, Buckley chatted and hugged the players after coaching his last game with the Pies. Even without a premiership, Buckley's impact on the club will always be remembered. Essendon forward Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti officially retired for a second time in 2023 after a brief return to football. Despite making a strong comeback in the season, playing 6 games, Tipungwuti admitted that another season would be too challenging, both physically and mentally.
Yeah, I'll miss this club. I love this club so much. It gave me the opportunity to pursue my dream, and I'm going to miss every one of you. I love this club. I love you boys so much. The staffs. I'm really thankful enough to follow my dream.
After an emotional retirement in 2021, he was lured back to play in 2023, but struggled and was eventually dropped to the VFL. He had his farewell match against Collingwood at the MCG, ending a career that saw him become a Bombers fan favourite, with 132 AFL games and 157 goals. Carlton veteran Mark Murphy retired after playing his 300th game at the end of 2021, joining a select group of Blues legends. The 34-year-old, who was the number 1 pick in the 2005 draft, spent 6 seasons as captain and won 2 Best and Fairest awards during his 16-year career.
Had calls from Sticks and Sauce over the past month or so, and hearing from legends of the club and having to talk to them about what it means to be a Carlton player.
The 34-year-old admits he feared he might fall just short.
Sadly, his milestone game was soured as Carlton got belted by 95 points against Port Adelaide. Murphy was congratulated by fans as he was chaired off Adelaide Oval by Patrick Cripps and Ed Curnow. Although Murphy had hoped to end his career with a win and sing the club song one last time, he remained grateful for what the club had done for him. Eddie Betts' 350th and final AFL game ended in heartbreak for Carlton, as they fell 14 points short to Greater Western Sydney. Betts kicked 2 goals, but it just wasn't enough. Despite the loss, Betts scored a brilliant banana goal that capped off his incredible 350-game career.
This is going to be a beautiful moment as he's cheered from the field. Huge round of applause.
And the Giants play their part, as is the respect these days within the AFL.
The defeat also marked the end of David Teague's coaching time. Betts had tremendous impact on the game, amazing Adelaide fans week in week out, and taking a stand against racism. The Giants celebrated the occasion, wearing an Indigenous Guernsey in his honour. Sydney Swans defender Alex Johnson's return to the AFL was crushed after suffering his 6th ACL injury during a win over Melbourne. The 26-year-old had just made his comeback after nearly 6 years out with previous knee injuries, including one that kept him out since the 2012 Grand Final. Coach John Longmire called it a cruel blow, while head of football Tom Harley described the news as shattering. Teammates, including Luke Parker, praised Johnson's resilience, with Parker saying, "Everyone needs a bit of Alex Johnson in them." The club continues to support Johnson through his lengthy recovery. Gary Ablett played through the 2020 Grand Final with a cracked shoulder after being tackled by Richmond's Trent Cotchin early in the game. Scans revealed the injury, which almost ended Ablett's final match. Despite the pain, he returned but had a quiet performance with only 7 disposals.
Just as he's landed, he's shouldered his shoulder. All the force of his body's gone through his left shoulder.
So this is not good for Abel. He's leaving the ground immediately. You could see him lift his left shoulder or his elbow off the ground immediately. It touched it, and this is not a great sight.
However, it was not enough, as Richmond won by 31 points, and Ablett failed to secure a third premiership to cap off his legendary career. It was one of the most gutsy performances ever, and showed why Ablett is considered one of the greatest players of all time. The Fremantle Dockers were devastated by the passing of a 14-year-old fan, Millie Lucas, who lost her battle with cancer in 2021. The incident happened just 4 weeks after her 14th birthday. The Dockers paid tribute with a statement during their first game of the season, expressing their sadness and offering condolences to her family.
Just really quickly, guys, it's the 14-minute mark as we speak, and Millie Lucas, who passed away at the age of 14, is getting a standing ovation. You might hear it and see it on your screens right now.
Her sister Rama and her brother Josh, sister Tracy.
Players wore black armbands in her memory during training. Millie's journey with the club began in 2016, and one of her highlights came in 2019 when she tossed the coin at a game and shared a hug with her hero, Nat Fyfe. In a moment of raw emotion, Western Bulldogs captain Bob Murphy was seen in tears after his team secured a spot in the grand final, ending a 55-year wait for a chance at a premiership. Murphy was unable to play because of a knee injury after being the most loyal and resilient player for the last 16 years.
Before we go, I'd like to get Bob Murphy up on the stand. This is yours, mate. You deserve it more than anyone.
The flag was a bittersweet moment for Murphy, who had the most unfortunate timing ever. Coach Luke Beveridge praised Murphy's character and surprised him by inviting him onto the stage during the medal presentation and giving him his own medal. In an emotional moment during a tough week for Gary Rohan, the Sydney forward honoured his daughter Willow after kicking a goal against Adelaide in April 2018. It was Rohan's first game back since his wife Amy gave birth to twins, with only one surviving.
Here's Gary Rohan! They love it!
After a clever goal in the third quarter, Rohan kissed the black armband on his left bicep and pointed to the sky in a tribute to Willow. His teammates rushed to support him, and the crowd at the SCG gave him a standing ovation. The Adelaide Crows faced the West Coast Eagles in an emotional match on July 11th, 2015, following the tragic death of their coach, Phil Walsh. The game, their first since Walsh's death, saw players from both teams in grief. The Crows honoured Walsh with a minute's silence, during which several players were seen in tears.
Well, every picture tells a story.
You can't begin to imagine what type of emotional weight they've had to deal with, these players. How incredibly personal it is for them.
At the end of the match, both teams huddled together in a powerful display of unity. Despite their 56-point loss, every goal scored by Adelaide was dedicated to Walsh, with Eddie Betts kissing his black armband after one of his goals.